What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about the crisis that's apparently going on in the automotive industry. Lots of you who are in the market right now are starting to look around, and you're starting to get surprised at everything that's going on. I've got Bonnie Simon with me today. We're going to talk about exactly what's happening, and then we're going to give you some alternatives on what you can do if you're in the market today. Stay with us. Welcome back to the channel, guys. And once again, this is Bonnie Simon. She's joining me today. She is my #1 salesperson in the company, and we are just discussing the industry and all of the apparent crisis that we're in. And if people are looking for trucks, what's that look like right now for them, Bonnie?
Oh, it's not so easy to find a truck right now, especially if you're looking for a diesel truck. It's not going to last forever. But if you are in the market for a diesel truck, you want to start early. There just aren't very many available.
That's true. And, and there's lots of vehicles. Like yesterday, I heard that, these clients call me and they said, we've seen the ad on TV for $350 a month on this particular lease. And they called the dealerships, 3 of them, and they're just like, we're not honoring the ad. We're not doing it. It's double what that payment is if you want the car, because the inventory, guys, is super low. It's
very low. And that gives you an idea of how quickly the situation is changing as well. That we were looking at prices today for a particular type of vehicle, and they usually, if you like statistics, they usually take an average, but they throw out the outliers. They kept the outliers in because that's really the direction that it's going up.
Yes, the car market, and I think people are getting the wrong idea. They think that they can capitalize on this.
Right. But you can sell a vehicle for more than you could usually sell it for, but then what are you going to drive?
It's the same thing as in the housing industry right now. Like you can get a lot of money for your house right now, but what comes down to is where you're going to go.
Right.
Where you're going to go. You're going to have to spend even more to get that vehicle. So, I mean, it's a 40, so,
right. Yeah,
but that's it. Yeah, that vehicle or that house. So that's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
We wanted to give them some ideas today.
Right, exactly. It's not that you can't get any car. It's it sounds very dramatic when we talk about it, but it's not that every single vehicle is unavailable. It's that in this particular kind of case, instead of coming in knowing exactly what you want, it's not a bad idea to have an idea of what it is that you like about the things that you want, so that if it takes too long to get what you want, we can think of an alternative.
We sure can. And what we're finding is that I talk a lot about leasing, and there's a lot of little lease deals you can still take advantage of in sport utilities, which is pretty much what everybody wants.
Yeah, they're very, very popular.
Yeah, and there's a segment of folks that need bigger vehicles that have a lot of kids and they pull stuff.
And a segment of people who need smaller vehicles that they're getting for a young person who's driving or
commuters.
They're commuters, right.
Yeah, so like it's not the end of the world. I think it can be difficult if you aren't open-minded right now.
Right. Yeah, that's really the issue, I think, is that it's a good idea to just consider a lot of different things. And there are things that are available.
Right. So let's start off with some examples. So we talked about the crisis. Like, this is unprecedented with where we're at. We could spend the whole video talking about why we're here, but if you've tried to buy plywood or toilet paper or,
right,
beef or anything, it's just the market is crazy right now. So we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about that. But what we wanted to do is just help you try and get out of your own way and think about, okay, I can't have this specific Toyota that I want right now, because that's one of the brands that's hit the hardest.
Yeah.
But maybe you should look at a Honda CR-V,
right,
or a Volkswagen Tiguan, or a Hyundai Tucson, or a Mazda CX5, or a Subaru Forester. I mean, there's different vehicles you can look at. And so right now we're going to give you some examples of vehicles that you can obtain for around $400 or less, and they are great little SUV options going into the summer.
And by 400, we mean $400 a month. And I think we're talking about leasing, correct?
Yeah, leasing a car. So purchasing is going to be difficult to get anything for $400 a month right now. But if you are in the market and you're considering leasing, there are still cars you can get. Lexus is tough, Toyota's tough, Ford, Chevy, all of those things are really difficult. But getting a Honda CR-V or a Forester or something like that will still get you what you need and still stay in the budget that you're trying to stay within.
And leasing is a good stopgap measure, that if you really wanted for the long term, you wanted a certain type of vehicle that you can't get right now, you can lease something else. And then at the end of the lease, the situation will likely have changed and you get another chance.
And that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that the situation changes in 3 years. And if you lease a car for 3 years, we're looking at what would that put us into? 24. Maybe you have to do one more, and you're definitely an electric car by 27, right?
That could happen, yeah.
That's what my speculation is right now. Is we're either going to be in a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid,
right,
or electric.
Yeah, that seems reasonably likely.
Okay.
Though we do not foretell the future. We don't know.
Okay, without further ado, let's give you some options that you can drive. I'm going to bring up pictures of the cars, and we're going to describe these cars and talk about them. And then you can pick one if you like. If you need help, comment in the comments section, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Okay, the first car I want to talk about is a Honda CR-V, a 2021 Honda CR-V. We have found that in Colorado, you can lease those vehicles for less than $400 a month, and they give you an array of equipment. We just did one for a family, and they bought the vehicle because they wanted a lot of safety tech. Honda in 2021 has put Sense on all of their vehicles. So they have the cameras in the front. They've got all the lane sensing stuff. They've got heated seats, power sunroof, analog brakes, backup camera, everything you could pretty much imagine in this vehicle. And they are really relatively inexpensive to lease. This is like a $31,000 car, and it's less than $400 a month. So this would be my number one choice if you're looking for something to fill the gap of what you're trying to do right now. The second option is a Mazda CX5. Now, this vehicle is in the same size category as a RAV4 or a Honda CR-V, and it has the same, basically the same type of equipment. They have some different tiers. They have a sport, a touring. They also have the GT. So basically, you have to figure out which one will fit. But if we're staying on that 400 and below range, you're going to be looking at a sport, maybe a touring with a premium package. That'll give you the blind spot monitor, all the new safety tech and stuff like that. And we had one of these for the last 3 years myself. So this was a very fun car to drive, very peppy. It's all-wheel drive, just like the CR-V. And it's definitely an option if you're not intrigued by the Honda. This next option is the Volkswagen Tiguan. Now, this one is really exciting because lots of people are finding that the luxury cars are even hard to get. So the Tiguan has a couple of distinct things. It is available with a third row seat. So for those people out there that have a few kids, this vehicle can fill that gap and not break the bank. So if you stay with like the S model or the SE, that vehicle will still be less than $400 a month. But look at this R-Line Black Edition. This has 20-inch black rims. This has a panoramic sunroof. This has a lot of stuff. This is going to be in the mid 400s to lease, 12,000 miles a year with no money down. This is a great option for people. It drives like an Audi. It has a 2-liter turbo. I'm not a huge fan of owning Volkswagens long term. However, they have a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. So when you lease these vehicles for 3 years, it's not a problem. If it ever breaks, you can get it repaired for free. So that's why it's on the list. Another option is the Hyundai Tucson. This vehicle is in the mid 300s in a sport all-wheel drive edition. It is very similar to the RAV4 and the CR-V and the Mazda CX5. All of these vehicles are in the same class. It's just whichever one really resonates with you. What's really cool about this vehicle is if you need a little bit more mileage to drive on your lease and you're willing to pay a little bit more, they have a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. So basically, that can be really good for people who need to do 15 or 18,000 miles a year when they're leasing a car. So the Tucson is definitely on the list as well. But once again, we're just talking about vehicles you can drive for like 400 or less.
Yeah.
And get through this crisis that we're in and not have to buy a vehicle for a long period of time.
Right. And these were mostly mid-sized vehicles. There are a number of small vehicles as well for people who need small vehicles, who don't need to fill up the car and tow things and stuff like that. Yeah,
there's some honorable mentions like the Subaru Impreza, the hatchback Impreza. Those
Jetta?
are, yeah, the Jetta.
Jetta. So those are available.
You could always get a Honda Civic as well, but the inventory is a little low, but you can get those. Oh, Jettas. Yeah, that's actually the least expensive vehicle to lease right now. So if you're looking to stay less than $300 a month, that is your car. Yes. We have some people that are moving to Florida and buying a vacation home, and they're going to have a car down there that they're going to lease, and it's probably going to be a Jetta.
Yeah. Yeah, those are fun to drive too. They're very peppy, well engineered, and but I think those are really meant for big people. I myself have trouble reaching the pedals.
The biggest thing is they're under warranty the whole time you're leasing them, and you don't have to go out and overspend for a vehicle right now.
Right.
this is just some solutions for you guys. So we're welcoming your comments. Please add to this conversation. Did you have anything you want to leave them with?
Well, I think that's really what it comes down to, is that you don't have to overspend just because there's a shortage of certain types of vehicles, that there are options, and don't let anybody tell you different.
I love that. So we have got some other videos that you can check out on the channel. And as usual, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time we drop a new video. Have a great day, guys.